Yeah.
All right, folks, welcome to our second international workshop, Mike. For those of you that don't know or haven't ever seen us at this time, the way this works is we have comedians that are running material on a topic that they've randomly been assigned. If they're studious, they've written. If they're me, they don't even know what word they had anymore. And after that, we'll give them some feedback, and then we will give a chance for the comics to work on some material that they would like to work on. So, as always, just like our normal evening show, this is a comedy safe space, which means that we are all trying our hardest to make people laugh. We may say things that hurt or offend, but just know we don't say it with that intention. So we'll try to fix it next time. Gee, that is a terrible way to explain what we're trying to do here, but that is how I've decided to do it for like 300 shows. All right. So we're going to bring up your first comedian. All right. And Jeremy, whenever you are ready and you see your face on the big screen.
I haven't did comedy long, but I thought typically the host goes first. My topic was DIY. So like this has become my new hobby during lockdown. And DIY is the act of decorating, building, making repairs at home by oneself rather than employing a professional. Otherwise, this is known as being cheap. So like you hate paying high prices for vegetables. DIY, start a garden. Overpriced for weed. DIY, start a garden. Wait, I did this before. Losing your memory. DIY, read the Alzheimer's and Dementia for Dummies book because that's gonna help you. When you think about books, like I think about the all-time top 25 bestseller books, and 7 of these books are about a hairy man that makes pottery, and none of them are in the self-help area. So I found a few best-selling DIY books. The first one is called You're a Badass. And like, I can understand, as a kid, we were taught we could be anything, but at some point we have to accept that we're not able to be anything like a doctor or a lawyer or even a good parent. But nonetheless, you're still a badass. Like, oh girl, that's a badass. Or, damn, girl, that's a badass. We don't know which one you are, but you're one of those. I'm quitting comedy soon because of that book. The next book that I read that's a bestseller is called If in Doubt, Wash Your Hair. And this is a great book that already alienates 40% of its potential customers. And whoever wrote this joke into my set is an asshole. I did this myself. I need help, guys. Do-it-yourself books are like a smart way for people to sell products. Like, oh, you think you could do this? Well, buy all these parts and these supplies and then try it and quit and leave all these parts and supplies in your closet never to be used again. But most importantly, buy them from me. The whole For Dummies book series, there's a whole series of books just made for you. Yeah, not you. I'm not looking at anyone in particular, guys, but don't feel bad. Don't feel guilty. The Dummy series with titles like Relationships for Dummies. Don't worry, Ankita, I've purchased that one for you. It should arrive tonight. Moving Out of Your Parents' House for Dummies. Narek, I bought that one for you, bud. That'll be there your house in a few days. And then Pittsburgh for Dummies for my friend Kevin. And I learned this fun fact. Pittsburgh is known as the city of bridges because there are 446 bridges, and this is more than any other city in the whole world. So I hope you bought a boat. Because he just moved it. You guys, if I gotta explain the joke, then it's So there's a few ways, like in the US, we got like a few ways to kill yourself. Like, but now we have a whole store dedicated to this. It's called Home Depot, and it's a store where you could buy like equipment to electrocute yourself. You could buy a chainsaw to cut off your leg, or simply just poison your family with insecticides. It's all there. And speaking of DIY, the internet is great for this. I've learned things from the internet like growing psilocybin mushrooms, making hash cookies or weed brownies, and extracting DMT from plants around my neighborhood. So all DIY and very easy, guys. I learned how to be a comedian on the internet. And the first step, it said quit now and start a family so that you have something more interesting to write about later whenever you're old and useless. Who wrote these jokes? I knew my ex-girlfriend was going to break up with me when I seen her watching self-help videos on YouTube, guys. So do it yourself and lay on me the innuendos about masturbating that I didn't include already. Thank you.
All right. Feedback for Jeremy.
Yeah, I just wrote 3 things. So first of all, definitely masturbate more, DIY. I remember that he used to hate going to Korean restaurants because they make you cook your dinner. So that could be one example also. And IKEA, how can you forget? Make your own bed, fucking shoe rack, everything. Yeah, that's all. I really liked your Home Depot part.
Whips and chains and everything in there.
Yeah, suicidal DIY. That's really nice. That's a tangent. Not expected from you often.
I made a note that in the case where you said that you learned how to grow psilocybin and extract DMT and all that, as it said in that case, DIY means drugs in you.
That's nice.
Yeah. Just a funny one, like the "you're a badass" joke. I was just thinking, like, I don't think you're allowed to be a badass if you had to have a book tell you that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Same with like the relationships for dummies. It's like, I just wondered what happens when like your boyfriend or girlfriend or partner gets that for you as a gift. They're just like, this seems your speed.
That's a breakup gift.
Yeah.
Lesson for the next time.
I want you to be better for the next person.
Yeah.
To help your future relationships.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. I like it.
Yeah, I made this little note when you say that when we are kids, they tell us that we can be whatever we want, like a lawyer, doctor, porn star. Yeah.
I need more hair.
And if you're a good enough porn star, you can be all of those in your videos.
Yes, that's nice.
All right. But I want you guys to write down specifically what I want you to take away from it is step number 1 of how to be a comedian.
Quit.
So like
Quit.
Oh, I encourage every comedian to quit. So I just want it to be just me. If these workshops are just me talking into the void, I'm good.
I'm sure that's what Richard Branson also thought when he took that space travel.
Hey, I wonder what the IKEA billionaire would have done if he would have been tried to going into space. Do you think he would have made his own shuttle?
Yeah, and on the while on the way to it, he will be making it. And
do you think
he just would have had a pocket full of extra screws that they included for no reason? Oh, I feel like I'm doing a hack 1980 comedian's joke. Next time, I'm like, I get no respect.
I think IKEA, like if the other guy's riding a dick to space, the other guy, the IKEA dude ship is all balls. Meatballs. Swedish meatballs. Just balls.
All right.
All of this is not going to be funny, guys. I didn't tell you my warning before my
Yeah, I really thought that I didn't do justice to my topic, but I was relieved that Jeremy was going earlier. So it's okay. The bar is already very low.
No, I was standing up.
I said it's a comedy safe space. I didn't say it was a warm, happy space. All right, let's go to our next comedian. We're going to bring up Ankita when you're ready.
Yeah, I am.
Maybe it'll click and drag.
Yeah, okay, cool. So my topic was political debates, and of course, I'm gonna talk about Donald Trump. He is the ultimate too hot to handle. Now, what I see is that three kinds of people really benefited from the Trump regime. First, the newscasters at Fox, they definitely got to keep their jobs. Then those who attacked the Capitol because they got to shit on government property, like literally. So that's amazing. And third is the American comics. I mean, they had 4 fucking years of milking one big fat orange cow. And I checked at least 8 Netflix specials. 25% of their hour-long content is about Trump. And that one comment that Trump made about grabbing the pussy, every one of them were trying to grab pussies from different angles, and they failed. Now, interestingly, Grab is a rideshare app in Asia, like Lyft or Uber. And if you're a man here and order a Grab car for your date to come see you, figuratively, you can grab a pussy. I mean, Jeremy does that all the time. I read in an article that 53% of Republicans still believe that Trump has won the election and he is still the president of the United States. That's a lot like my mom. I mean, after dad passed away, a bird started visiting our house and she thought it was dad, and that bird shit all over our balcony, and I have not seen a human happier cleaning shit. Some American comics here in Vietnam, they complained a lot that I looked visibly upset every time they mentioned Trump in their sets. And it's true, because it gave me deja vu. Now, gu in many Indian languages means shit. And it every time they mention Trump, it felt like I have seen this shit before. Now, our people also behave a lot like your Republicans. They think drinking cow urine every day is going to keep COVID at bay. And they refuse to wear masks. But for that, we really cannot blame them because they have been wearing many masks already. Masks of understanding consent, masks of respecting women. They just didn't want to add one more. You can't blame them for that. Political debates have gone a few notches higher thanks to social media. Facebook and Twitter have given voice to those who had better kept their mouths shut. Even that socially awkward guy who avoids eye contact and crosses the street so he doesn't have to say hi to you, he too takes part in political debates, but not on Twitter. You'll find his opinion in the comments under the YouTube videos. One interesting thing to note is that political debates have kind of lost its broad spectrum non-binary status. You are either identifying as a heterosexual male or a female. There is nothing in between. If you have mixed feelings about the issues, you are surely gay. And the political people are definitely gays who are yet to come out. That's all I got for my topic.
All right. Nicely done. Feedback.
I wrote different different angles, but I forgot what I was going to say. I think I just wanted to say anal, but I really had something else.
You don't want to take different angles to that, man. It really
You're gonna wear it out pretty quickly. I know.
It's gonna be really stressful. Yeah.
Now I was laughing when you were making fun of every comedian making that like grab him by the pussy or grab her by the pussy joke. Because I remember seeing that at every open mic, and it just made me think like everyone on stage that kept repeating it, they'd always add the same like gesture, like he was just gonna forcefully seize it, like enough to pick her up or something in the air. And it just made me think that they all looked like they were finger blasting a ghost.
Okay.
The image I had in my head. If you just freeze framed on it, I was like, why are we all doing that? I think the idea, I would love to see that idea about your mom and the ghost or like the reincarnated bird of your dad coming back. I think that's hilarious. Is she just like, you're like, Mom, how do you know that's the bird or that bird's dad? And she's like, I had to clean up your father's shit for years. This is just carrying it forward or something like that. I think that'd be really good. angle to take for
Yeah.
that. And then I think the idea of the social masks, yeah, they don't want, like, they have so many metaphorical ones. They don't need a literal one, I think is a good premise to play around with. So nicely done.
Yeah, I did this note. I don't know how useful it might be. One time I was watching this TV show and they were criticizing Louis C.K. So they say he jokes about like kids and molesting kids, but there are so many other topics to joke about. Like there is Trump, there is Brexit, and then I don't know. You can say that. Yeah, we heard too much of Trump and Brexit. Just we can hear some. I don't know.
Yeah.
You got some love in the comments here. So Priscilla says good delivery. You got some thumbs up for Dad Bird.
Yeah. Thanks,
Who
Priscilla.
needs a dad bod when they've got a dad bird?
Yeah, I know.
Tons. And then Deja Goo.
Yeah.
All right.
I wrote Gaga Goo Goo because like
The song?
Gaga sounds bad, but Goo Goo sounds good. Yeah, no, it's like a 2 girls 1 cup thing. I don't know where that was going.
All right, I'm going to mute my camera really quick because I have got to plug this thing in. But I'm going to bring up your next comedian and start your time when you're ready.
Complicated.
You know. Okay. Okay.
As soon as you're good.
My topic was romantic comedy.
Ooh.
I don't know. Anyway, so dating changes very quickly. Like, I finally got to the point when I went to a date and it went fine. Like, everything was good, and I had even condoms ready in my pocket. And then she said, "Let's go to this hotel nearby because I live with a roommate, and she also lives with a roommate." So I went to this hotel and they checked my temperature in the entrance, and my temperature was 37.5, but they didn't let me in. So now I not only have to work on my personality, but also on my temperature. Okay, next one is, I had this friend and he got gonorrhea. And then a few weeks after he got the gonorrhea, he messaged me like, "Hey man, how are you doing? I have this girl who would like to have 2 guys at the same time. Would you like to share her with me?" I was like, share her? Her, yes. Gonorrhea, no. So, no. So, first time I did when I was 17 in China. I met love to Chinese woman and she faked the orgasm. So it's fine. It was love made in China. And one time I was using Tinder and I got matched with this girl. She was very good looking, had very big eyes, and but she also looked a little bit like a man. So I decided to message her and ask. So I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Do you have a penis?" And she replied, "Yes, but you wouldn't really notice it if you go on doggy." Okay, that was all I wrote.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. All right. So some feedback on romantic comedy.
I just wrote, you say the herpes, sorry, her or gonorrhea, right? I just wrote her or herpes. That comes a bit closer. Maybe instead of gonorrhea,
okay.
you could use herpes.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
And, it's not even fair. Nobody even asks your gendered pronouns. Maybe you have his P's.
His
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just be careful. Just a piece of advice when if you do that joke about the Chinese woman that you feel like looks like a man, just be careful. Some audiences will interpret that as like a transphobic joke, and then that can usually make some pushback.
All right.
And I don't think that's the intention that you're going with the joke, but just be aware. Like sometimes when we're running stuff, we're not quite like getting the point because this is all brand new. It's like we're baking a pie and none of the ingredients are fully cooked yet. So,
Okay, thanks.
yeah, especially America right now. That's a very sensitive topic. You don't want to dabble in it.
Okay.
Yeah, I got called out for that already a few times.
Yeah.
Some man in a dress, all right? It's not a lady boy. You gotta tell him.
To be fair, as a man that looks like he should wear mostly muumuus, I get it.
Watch out, buddy. Watch out.
Yeah. I just like a full body kilt. It's not my fault. All right.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, I was looking for more romance in the beginning, you know, like, tell me you lit some candles. They don't even have to be real. Just tell us you lit some candles, you know. It's the beauty of telling jokes is that it doesn't have to be true. But romance us, you know, buy some special strawberry lubricants or something, you know, to get us in the mood. Because I was in the mood, but you just jumped into the sex, and I wasn't ready for that. So.
Okay.
Time I will be. Don't worry, man.
Now you will see how it feels to be dry fucked.
I just love that this is the time Jeremy's like, a little foreplay would be nice. Come on. Gloomy. Romance for Dummies would have worked here.
There you go. Yeah.
Good tag in the comments.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm using that one in my set. Like, I don't know, because I did the Dummies thing. I think that's just the old message. She's just a little slow or something.
All right. Other feedback, last minute tags, anything like that? All right.
I'm looking forward to the second date.
All right. My topic was, I'm going to start my timer, get myself on the big screen. My topic was the Cold War, and I wrote like 0 jokes about the Cold War because I was like 4 when it was over. Okay. Like the only thing I know about the Cold War is that Rocky fought with the Taliban. And I know that's a Rambo movie, but he blends together in everything Sylvester Stallone's in. I'm not going to make him a different character in my head. All right. It's just one guy that did steroids and half of his face is paralyzed. And you expect me to give a shit about his career? It's not going to happen. All right. All I know is that I have started several Cold Wars in my family or in my relationship with my wife. The most recent one was over a towel. Just really what happened is, so I got out of the shower and I grabbed one of my wife's towels instead of one of mine, and I noticed that it was infinitely softer than anything I had ever put on my body before. Like it was like I was wiping with 2 puppies. Is that it was like a cloud made of lambs. And I didn't understand because I didn't know that before that I had been wiping with my towels, which were like, I think I was just wiping with 0 grit sandpaper. I was just rubbing a boulder on myself at that point. And so I asked my wife, like, why are your towels better than mine? Why can't I get nice towels? And she said, that's because when I wash my towels, I put fabric softener in there and you don't. And I did not know they made fabric softener. I also did not know that I started a Cold War with my wife because it goes back to one time when I did laundry. I didn't use fabric softener because I didn't know it existed. And her towels are scratchy. And so she's just been sorting the laundry and only using fabric softener on her stuff for 9 years. That's what's been happening is I have been in like Vietnam and not known it. It's just, she is just lobbing missiles, just trying to start a fight. And I have just been blundering through, just assuming everything was good in our relationship. That's the level of Cold War I'm at. I'm also, I don't know. My parents really wish the 80s never ended. Like my dad watches a lot of Fox News and he'll call me up sometimes and be like, hey, Kevin, did you hear the news? And I'm like, no, Dad. And he's like, well, the North Koreans are going to launch a missile at Seattle. And I'm like, that's fine, Dad. I don't live in Seattle. Like, I live in a town that just like east of Seattle that's famous for baked goods and that a guy got fucked to death by a horse. Okay, that's all that town's famous for. Also, you know, how good do our scones have to be that comes ahead of the bestiality? Those are some good goddamn muffins, if that's what you lead with in conversation. But he'll be like, well, and I'm like, Dad, why are you excited that North Korea might attack America? You're like 90, all right? You're not going to Red Dawn your way through this existence, all right? You have a pacemaker, a magnet could take a children's science experiment would destroy you any day of the week. All right? Like what I put my artwork on the fridge with when I was 3 wrecks your shit. All right? And you're going to talk down about like you're going to fight them off one-handed. Besides, like if North Korea got to my hometown and was just like going to invade it, they just look around and be like, did we already bomb this place? Did we fucking do that? There are 2 tire fires already in this town. Why did we? That's not even good sense. Like, I just feel like like nothing would happen in that town anyways. Like the only time anything exciting ever happened is when our local meth dealer forgot that flammable and inflammable meant the same thing. All right. All right.
He forgot.
That's my time. Thank you.
Oh God. Yeah.
I remember that horse thing. Like, have I run this that bit before, or is it just you remember a story about a man fucked to death by a horse? Do you have like a Google alert that goes off when that happens?
Whenever that happens.
So it's like an alert, like horse fucking. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. Oh, that's not the way that I wanted it to go in. Delete. Let's see what else. After you have sex, another guy comes. So we do like a reverse cuckolding. Weird.
Poor horse.
All right. Any feedback?
I just wrote 2 things. First, you said that you don't remember Cold War. I was just thinking if heat wave is a cause for you not being able to write jokes on Cold War. And the second thing I wrote is that when you were talking about fabric softeners, your wife didn't give you fabric softeners because she might have thought that it could cause erectile dysfunction.
Oh.
That's not the right
doesn't like it when it's a downy.
To tag on that, like if you ever do have an erection problem with your wife, like before going to bed, you could say, "Sorry, honey, I was just reading about the Cold War." Do you remember George went swimming in the cold pool and like it was a big it's a Cold War.
Yeah. All right, yeah, Priscilla, you remember the story of Mr. Hands and Mr. Big. Mr. Hands was the dead guy. Mr. Big was the horse. Yeah. They had a whole, like, ranch. It was interesting. So I'm glad you've heard of Evenclaw. It's always good. Always good to know that we made the news internationally. All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Narg.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jeremy. No,
I said I had one last thing. The only thing that I know about the Cold War is that it wasn't really always cold. Like sometimes we had summer and then sometimes we had winter. It was, like it wasn't always cold. So what the fuck?
I demand accurate war titles is really what I demand. War of the Roses? I don't think a single flower fought. That's bullshit.
The Trojan War, there weren't rubbers there.
I make this little note when you say that your father is afraid that they will bomb Seattle. Maybe he doesn't care about the city. He just takes it personally because he fought in the Korean War. So he thinks that they will bomb and win his honor or something. I don't know.
They couldn't take me in the 50s. They're not getting me now. So how old do you think I am that my dad fought in Korea? All right. So this brings us to the part of the workshop where our comics get to work on whatever they would like to work on. So we're going to bring them back on through and give them another 5 minutes to see what they got.
Sure,
my first.
Well, it's taken me forever to click and drag this goddamn screen.
Hold on.
You had time. Maybe. There we go.
Nice, open, empty screen.
Let's see if we can time this just right.
Yeah.
I mean, treat it like a real hosting set. Like, all right, folks, I want you to give a big, warm comedy workshop welcome for your comic of the evening, Jeremy Wagner. Yeah, see, we did it right.
I am now. What? No, okay, I'll start over. I am now at home, like 7% away from being like drunk, but the store is closed and they don't sell alcohol anymore. So I'm probably gonna drink some wine like a classy person. This is stuff that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. You guys know, like my Uncle Short Arm. He's got one arm. It's not funny. But like whenever I would go to his house, he always would like try to Did I just go? Okay. And like I don't know where this is going, but like when he would discipline us, like the first time I remember, he used his hand and he said, "This is gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you." And I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. And then the second time, he said the same thing, but he had like cut out this paddle in woodworking class in his local community college because that's where my uncle's learning right now, or jail. But like he made a paddle and he put holes in it. Like he learned about physics and air resistance and things like that. So he put holes in the paddle. And the next time he hit me with the paddle, he's like, "This is gonna hurt me more than it's going to hurt you." But that's not true because his hand was holding the paddle as opposed to his hand hitting me. This is not funny. This is just abusive parenting. I don't know. So yeah, that's great. Uncle Short Arm. I opened up a face painting booth at the local kids carnival, but sadly I only had one color face paint. This is actually it's like an old booth I had left over from when I was visiting Japan, and it was a bukkake booth for children, you know, because we're doing it for the kids. You know, like if comedy, like I've recently met some Zoomers that were like, "Fuck, man, like I've been doing Zoom for a year. I'm gonna quit my job and do comedy full time." Like if comedy was that easy, each and every one of us would have a comedian in our family. And I'm not talking about your Uncle Short Arm doing his circle jerking, you know, jokes at Christmas time. That's not a comedian. Uncle Short Arm doesn't get paid for that. Actually, Uncle Short Arm's in jail right now, so he ain't getting paid for anything. So I'm just saying, if comedy was that easy, we would all have a comedian in our family. I don't know where these 3 lines come from. I mean, I know they came out of my email box on an email that I sent to me, but I have no idea what they go with. But this one, the first one says, "If you're fat, clothes are always skin tight. I can't get fat because my clothes will not fit right." I don't, okay, again. Yes, yes, horse, yes, everything you say. I don't know where that came from either. These are things that I'm now going to use for joke ideas. Clap to remind the old man to do what he forgot. So it's like clap on, clap off, maybe not. Here in my neighborhood, in my Facebook, I get a lot of kids sending me messages. Like, I'm 39 years old, and I don't know why these kids are trying to have sex with me. Wait, when I accept their friend request, they try to sell me weed. They're not even trying to have sex with me. So they're basically, yeah, I'll buy some of that weed, but you're basically wasting both of our times by sending me a friend request. You could just send a message. All right? We don't need to go through all this friendship stuff. All right, that's all. That's it. Fuck.
All right. So, some feedback there.
So who is the comedian in your family?
Uncle Shortarm.
Okay.
I was just laughing. Uncle Shortarm, why wouldn't he, like, the first discipline is he uses the short arm for the spanking? Like, seems like it escalates. Then he gets the long arm and then the paddle. You have steps, levels. I also made note when you made the comment about him doing a circle jerk during Christmas. I was like, if he uses the short arm to do that, does it like cause him to masturbate in a circle? Like when you tear the wing off a fly, I guess.
No, he's always got like, whenever he does like these things, he does like 50% input and like that's it. So like people don't invite him back to Christmas because he like doesn't bring a gift. Like he loves opening gifts, but he doesn't bring a gift. So like he's only half-assing things.
That little son of a bitch. I think you almost need to have a term for somebody that's trying to like pedophile catfish you. Like, because you have like bait and switch, but I'm like, there's got to be a special term for it, like where you come up with a word, like a term for it. So I just think, I don't know.
Make.
Yeah. But yeah, I think just something like that would really add a punch to that. Circular circle jerk.
You stroke my back and I'll stroke your.
Yeah.
Whatever you want me to stroke, really.
Entrapment. Yeah, I guess. I don't know, man. I didn't know Catch a Predator went international, but yeah, if you're like, then they're trying to sell you weed, and you're like, oh, that's not what I like that more. I think that would be tricky. Like, what if you had to like sit through those weird spammy? Because I assume that they're just like trying to trick you to get to the weed, and you're like, I don't really want to fuck this kid, but I do want the weed. And why do we have to play these games? Why can't you just lead with the weed? Like, always feels awkward. Yeah. All right. Other feedback. It gets weird from here. Just keep going.
So another weird one. When you say that you have Uncle Short Arm, maybe you can put also something that he never touched you or he touched you and it's different experience because you have short arm.
No, it was like one of the other kids, my cousins, came forward and they're like, yeah, Uncle Shortarm touched me as a kid. And I'm like, I went to Uncle Shortarm's house for like 3 or 4 years during the summertime and he never touched me. So I don't believe that he tried to touch you. Like, I'm way sexier than you. Like,
maybe he didn't like
it.
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing because I'm like, what? You're like, dude, he couldn't have touched you. He has little T-Rex arms. He ain't gonna fucking do. He ain't gonna get to you. Oh.
Yeah, then that could lead you to your hipster dinosaurs.
Yeah. In Happiness, the movie, the kid was disappointed he wasn't molested.
Yeah, Jeremy is that kid.
See, only in the movies do dreams come true, kids. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other feedback?
Let's move on. My uncle could be watching this from jail.
Yeah.
Right now.
We have literally ones of watchers right now. So
Thank you, Priscilla.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So up next, maybe.
All right. So I'll tell you guys a true story first, okay? A couple of months ago, I had a show, and I texted that morning. I texted an acquaintance of mine, "Will you come to my show tonight?" He sent me a picture of his naked lower half from the toilet seat. So out of context, right? It didn't even contain a dick. I mean, had it been a dick, at least I would be able to construe its meaning. You know, a dick standing long and strong means he's excited about the show. Maybe we'll fuck after. A dick hiding its face in the bush, comedy isn't his thing, but he's ashamed to admit, Lord help him. What I'm saying is a dick pic is never out of context, but no dick, only a pair of hairy legs. What am I going to do with that? I mean, if I jerk off to that, even my vibrator would judge me. So I don't talk to him after this, okay? I vibrate in rage and fall silent. This is something I have learned from my vibrator, actually. After a few weeks, he comes back asking why I'm silent. So I explained to him that it's the no dick pic. And he starts gaslighting me. He says I'm being immature. You know, I imagine his hairy legs dangling from the toilet. That's a very mature visual, indeed. Then he complained that my comedy persona is different from my real persona. So because I tell dirty jokes on stage, he thought I would accept his dirty picture. I mean, I would if it was dirty enough. Who wants to tell jokes about skinny, hairy legs anyway? Give me a good dick, I'll make it famous. Men suck at many things, right? Keeping toilet seats up, making us come, but gaslighting, the one thing that you could really claim as your own, you suck at that, you're a really miserable cunt. Anyway, so a few days later, he asked me if I want to go have dinner with him. I sent him a picture of the top part of my chest, no tits. Go figure, motherfucker. And in case you're wondering, no, he's not Indian. That reminds me that an Indian woman has just won a silver medal at weightlifting at the Tokyo Olympics. Hardly a surprise, given the heavy lifting our women have to do every day. Housework, making marriage work despite no orgasm for years, raising babies, including the 41-year-old she married. Indian men are supposed to be the little ones forever. Now, if these were categories in Olympics, our women would be showering in gold, you know. But however, after she returns home, she will face a snatch and jerk scenario. The jerk of a husband would snatch those medals and pawn them to get money for cheap country liquor to drown his hurt ego in. But that's a different Olympics altogether. Recently, I read on Reddit that allergies change every 7 years. Marriage is often called a 7-year itch, right? Now it makes sense. There is currently a lot of excitement going on about the rich blokes' space travels, yeah? Well, Albert Einstein said that space is nothing but nothingness. It's good to see these rich kids who have accumulated so much wealth are spending all that for basically nothing. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right.
Okay.
Nicely done. Got compliment on some delivery there.
Thanks, Priscilla. Very thanks.
I just thought funny, like I almost went into like an Elaine Boozler routine when you were talking about the guy sending you the picture of his lower half, where it's just like, and how typical of a man to get his joke out before me. God, even in comedy, a woman can't finish first. But yeah, there's just some fun stuff in there. So again, I think I'd love to see some of those fleshed out a little bit. The Olympics, the Women Olympics, or the only women's Olympics, I think would be a hilarious bit to see all the way worked out. I must have missed that one.
Okay.
The nothing joke is the space travel joke. Yeah, I'm still working on it. So yeah.
Yeah. Again, we are all bacon pie. We're just trying stuff here. All right.
Yeah.
Other feedback.
I did this note when you say, in case you're wondering, the guy is not Indian. So maybe it could be added that he's not Indian. If he was Indian, my parents would have sent me his pic already.
Like your parents are very secure.
Because the parents do the match.
Oh,
Yeah,
that is.
yeah.
I love that twist. That is
Yeah,
awesome.
I love that. That's nice.
And maybe, yeah, and
Like
this
your
one
mom
got-
did the research and like talked to the 17 Indian dudes living in Vietnam and see which one was the best. Like she's doing like a secret bachelor setup date thing for you that you didn't even know about.
Yeah.
I didn't know women jerk off. You said like you went home and you were gonna jerk off to the picture of that guy's legs. Like, send me a picture of that. Like, it doesn't have to be you. It could have been any woman jerking off. But just send me a picture of that because that
You
would
you didn't see that with your men wearing dresses?
That's a secret. I'm not gonna reveal that. Don't half-ass a dirty joke. Like, put your whole ass into that dirty joke and shit everywhere. Like, I don't know what that has to do with anything, but like, don't half-ass a dirty joke, I guess. And then the last thing says hairy tits. Like, I don't, and it has a question mark. Like, why did you only show half of your top? Like, you have a hairy chest just like he did? Like, but I understand why. I'm just trying to make fun of your hairy chest.
I always love when these workshops turn into low-key roast battles.
on.
It just
Hold on.
I know, right?
To justify this, everybody knows that when you eat chili, you eat spicy food, it puts hair on your chest. That's
Oh,
that's all
God.
I'm trying to say, all right?
You are making a
Indians
gross
love
assumption
spicy
just
food.
because I'm Indian. Come on. You can do better than that. Come on, Jeremy.
Okay.
Yeah, also it's not when you say that
Doesn't
rich
know how
kids
to
are going
cook,
to
right?
space.
Sorry, yeah, Narek coming in?
Yeah, and you said that the rich kids are going to space. These kids are the
Yeah.
age of your father.
What?
Yes.
Sorry?
When you say that these rich kids are going to space, maybe you can, I don't know if you can say, or anyway, that these rich kids are the age of your father, maybe grandfather. It's not really kids.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway.
Like, is India planning? Is there like a rich Indian dude who works in India that has a business that's planning to go to space as well? Because
They will, I'm sure. Yeah. But I could actually tie it back with the when I say that the woman actually has to raise kids, including the 41-year-old that she has married. Maybe I could tie it back there.
I was just gonna say that like that guy is not really going for exploration of space. He's just going for like 10 minutes away from his kids and his wife. Like, just fuck, I'll spend $1 billion to just get me off the damn planet with those kids. They're fucking driving me nuts.
Okay.
doesn't even care
Yeah.
if it goes all Challenger on him. He's like,
I'll
you know
just
what?
blow it up. Just
Let it burn.
It's pre-made that way, yeah. Whoa, Dad died a hero.
All right. And Narek, whenever you're ready and you see your face on the big screen, we'll start your time.
Okay. They get this kind of one line that which one work. So I went to a museum the other day. The door was open. There was this woman sitting in front of it. I wanted to enter, but she said, "Sorry, we don't work today." And I was like, "Then what the hell are you doing here? Go home." Because she says that we don't work today, but she's working right now there. Next one is it possible to take a break from everyday people?
No.
No. Fat woman going to a fitting room but doesn't fit inside. Um, so there's this imported store nearby building, and everything there is super cheap. I asked them why is everything so cheap, and they said because everything here is expired. And then there was this massage next week. I went there. There was foot massage for $5. I said, why is it so cheap? That's because the lady who is going to give you the massage is dead. The happy ending was terrible. Okay, when I was in high school, my friends used to tell me, Narek, when are you going to grow up and become a man? I think one of my classmates, I became a man before I grew up. You know, the women, shopping is a big deal for women. Like they spend a lot of time buying clothes, and I think it should be even harder for women who don't have hands because then they will find a dress that fits them, but it's only for hand wash. And yeah, I used to go to university. There was this guy that used to jerk off in the classroom. We used to call him Professor. Oh yeah, that's it. Thank you, guys.
All right. All right, man. Is it cool if I give you a little bit of homework? That's the teacher in me that's coming out. So my feedback for you has nothing to do with the jokes you're writing. What would be really cool next time we have you on one of these is you talk way too fast. I mean, you're rushing through your own stuff, and I get it because this isn't a live. It doesn't feel like live in a lot of ways. But actually, when you're running your stuff, just slow down a little bit more, and it'll make you feel a little bit more comfortable with it. And take a pause before you hit your punchline.
Okay.
Give a 1 second count. And that just, I know it sounds weird because it's not how we normally talk, but it really for your audience will be like, hey, I'm making that point. And it'll give them a second to pause and be like, okay. And then they'll listen to the next thing you say. So I just want you to practice trying that. If you ever need an example, if you Google Nikki Glazer, Nikkiglazer, you'll see her do that in, if you watch any of her late night sets, she will pause. I mean, she probably does it more so than you should, but just get comfortable with that pace. Because you have jokes. You have good jokes, but you're going so fast through them that I have to work really hard to try to catch up with you. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that
notes as well. I would agree with that. So like we're trying to take notes on the previous joke, and you've already moved on to the next one. So it's kind of hard to give you feedback about two different jokes because we're trying to write down stuff from the first time.
Yeah. So yeah, again, there's good. You have good stuff in there. You have funny stuff. It's relatable. It's just get that stage presence side of things, and I think you'll be really comfortable. I mean, you'll start feeling more natural with it.
Okay. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I wrote down like when you said you went to the shop and like all of their products were expired. Like you asked for eggs and they gave you chickens. Like maybe you could give some examples of like the products that were all expired or something like that.
Okay.
All right. Other feedback, other notes?
Is that the chicken coming before the egg or the egg coming before the chicken?
Or it's almost like the food is so expired that they almost made it too fresh. It's like it just circled all the way back around. You're like, what grocery store are you at? The Circle of Life bakery? What is this? Oh, man.
Like you go in and they're like, oh, sorry, sir, we're out of chickens. But there's an egg right there. Yeah, but we're out of chickens. We're out of eggs. That's our last one. We have to replenish our stock. Come back in 3 days.
All right. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's run that stuff. Maybe. All right. Start my time. All right. So my dad was a high school shop teacher for 30 years, and all he ever cared about was safety. If you need to know how much my dad cared about safety, when he retired, he still had all of his fingers. All right. That's how much that man respected safety in his shop. Just for an example, I have an uncle that works construction. He's worked it for 3 years, and he's lost 3 fingers. All right. So not a safety conscious person. His just 10-year anniversary gift is just going to be fingerless gloves. Just oven mitts is really what they're going to be at that point. And we joke and we say any glove we get you is a fingerless glove, you unsafe motherfucker. But no, my dad always cared about safety. He cared about it, and the way he would teach you a safety lesson was by putting you in mortal peril. That would just be how he would teach you. It's funny. Like every time I tell a story about my dad, I always think it's a fun, lighthearted anecdote. And then everyone reminds me, no, that's just abuse. You had a traumatic childhood. So I took shop from my dad in high school, which just meant I got an A, but I also had to be his safety dummy, is what would happen. Like he would just like hold me over an open propane torch and be like, "This is why you never get too close to an acetylene burn, kids." That would just be what would happen. One day I was wearing a sweater that the love of my life at 15 had made me. And my dad said, "You can't wear that in this shop. That's flammable material." And I said, "Man, you don't understand how love works. You can't put out this flame of desire I have, old man." And so he called all the people around, and I was like, "Oh, shit, we're getting a safety demonstration, aren't we?" And he's like, "Yeah, we're getting a safety demonstration." And he said, "This is why you can't wear wool in a wood shop." And then he set me on fire in front of all of my peers. And I just want you to know, it's not like he set me on fire and then immediately put me out. He had to lecture while I am just forgetting everything about stop, drop, and roll. Finally, he just slaps me with the fire blanket and is like, "And that's why you don't wear stupid sweaters in my classroom." And everyone was like, "Oh my God, that's horrible. I can't believe he just did that to you. Are you going to report him?" And I was like, "He's my dad. I can't report him. Like, who do you think that phone call home goes to, you idiot?" Like, I have to drive home with my high school bully. Do you understand what I go through? Also, that's when I learned a lot of my classmates did not know my dad and I were related. Because my dad's response was, "He's not going to tell anyone I'm fucking his mom." And everyone's like, "Oh my God, double burn." I was like, "They're married, okay?" Like, I think it's weird. I think that's the only reason I got a passing grade in shop class is because my mom was Forrest Gumping for me just the whole time. She was just, and that's just it. That's how dumb I am. My mom had to sleep with a guy to get me an A in shop. Not to get me into a private school, just, don't make Kevin make a birdhouse and we'll have the weird sex. That's really what happened. Also, I couldn't tell anyone. Again, high school bully was my dad. Sad. I think I'll end with that. Yeah.
Ooh.
Good set. Good job.
Yeah. Thank you. I do. Thank you. Yeah, it does feel a little bit more structured this time around. So thank you for that. All right. Other feedback.
When you were talking about fingerless glove, I somehow heard fingerless love, and I thought that could be a anniversary gift after 10 years of marriage. No fingering.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, he can't finger blast anyone, but he'll just nub your clit. Just paw at it like a kitten with a ball of yarn.
I think
Yeah.
like probably after maybe like his 20-year anniversary working on the job, he'll be your Uncle Short Arm basically.
Yeah.
Just missing fingers and arms and elbows and kneecaps.
And I also wrote that your mom did not just have to sleep with a guy in order to get you an A. She had to marry a guy, which is way more painful.
Yeah. She's like, this is going to be a constant problem for him. He's going to need a lot of support
Yeah.
through school.
I have a feeling like after losing 5 fingers, you don't have to buy gloves anymore. You just buy condoms. Like it's pretty much the same thing, right?
Yeah, but they don't
Yeah.
make them warm. There's no like fur-lined condom. Oh God, that's so gross. Oh.
That could be a new business idea,
Yeah,
Kevin.
it's a warming
Yeah, God, do you
Not
ever
warming
say something and then you visualize it and you hate yourself for doing that to you? That's what I just did.
This is a new business idea. I'm sure it's going to feel great.
Yeah, oh, I can just see it on Shark Tank.
It's gonna be tight like a glove.
Oh,
That's your motto right there. It's called like a glove.
yeah. Oh, just all. Yeah. You know what? We're good. We're good here. Let's move along. Move along.
Safe space, safe space.
That would probably be a good guy because I seen him post today that he was like making fleshlights out of toilet paper tubes last year about this time. So like you might want to get with him. You guys might be able to start a business.
Oh God. Oh, all right. Other feedback that don't involve gross condom.
If it fits, we ships. My cats say if it fits, I sits, but
Well, it's you got to get the fur to make it purr. Is really what this one's going to be. Toilet paper tubes and bologna.
That's not something you put. Okay, I'll try it later.
Yeah, I mean,
make people crazy.
we're all thinking about it, but we don't like that we're thinking about it. All right. Any other tags, feedback for the jokes itself, or?
I think it's actually pronounced Bologna, but don't worry.
Only if you're fancy.
Yeah, which you're not.
All right. So, folks, that brings us to the end of our second international workshop.
I think it was.
Congratulations, you made it. Thank you,
Yeah, I
Priscilla,
know.
for watching. I'm sure I'll see you folks same bat time, same bat channel next Monday. All right. Oh, really quick, where can we find folks? Jeremy, where can we find you? Where can we see you?
I'll be in the corner crying after the show. Twitter is that little thing right there. Instagram. That's about it. I see that. I think you guys just started this extra group to get us 3 particularly out of the other group.
Yeah.
What's it say that I'm here hosting you guys?
Maybe you're part of the bad.
Yeah,
part
looks
of
like
the-
Gavin is forever stuck with us. Like international comedy, only 3 people who come back every Monday.
We're the only ones that matter internationally, is how I'm choosing to interpret this.
Right.
Well, like Ryan, I seen
I
Ryan.
thought Ryan was joining today.
I'm
Ryan said
international,
26.
and you're like, no, you're not. You're not international.
No, I kicked the Canadians out. They're not even a real country.
He doesn't even live in Edmonton. He's not even a comedian.
Oh. Okay. No, that's it. Just those places.
All right. Which I never know which way to point. Ankita, where can we find you? Where can we see it?
Yeah, that's a Facebook thing, Ankita.Ghosh comedy. That's it. And then I have Instagram and all that, but it's not dedicated to comedy 100%.
All right. And Narek, where can we find you? Where can we see you?
Instagram and Facebook and YouTube.
All right. And then finally I point the wrong way. You can find me at Kevin_egg on anything social media, as well as kevineggleston.com. Yeah, that's it. Got some live stuff coming up, but that'll be on the website. All right. Have a good day, folks.